Okay, Father Jose, thank you for being here. It's a real joy to have you.
So, Tori, it's a joy to be here and to see known faces, friendly faces, because, so this is my 4th year here in the States, and when I arrived here, so my Superior General sent me, and I have been appointed as pastor for first time in my life, always with students, and now I am a pastor. But when I arrived to the parish, I had an incredible grace that in the parish there was a wonderful business manager. And because life is in this way, after 1.5 years, the business manager said, "Father, I need to go to Kansas. Excuse me, but I leave you." I said, "Don't tell me this now, because I am beginning." And here she is. And I see here arriving, and so Sarah, I'm so happy to to see you here after seeing you in St. Mary's. Well, we are here in this retreat, Nuptial Charity Retreat. We try to understand better the core of your vocation, spousal vocation. And the core of this spousal vocation is this nuptial charity. And so we are trying to dive in this wonderful gift that our Lord has given you the day of your wedding. And this gift is accompanying you, moving your life and provoking you to grow and to grow till becoming the likeness of Christ. This is what we are going to see this day. There are 4 important questions. So the first question is about becoming one. What's the meaning of this? And so is the star, to see the stars. It's so important. I remember when I went to Rome to study in the John Paul II Institute. I have studied in Spain theology without a clear vision about what is marriage life, no? And so I read when I began the seminary a wonderful book of Karol Wojtyła, Love and Responsibility, and I was so surprised. But after no one of my professors told me what is married life. And so I had many doubts. After 8 years studying theology, when I ended my license, my superior approached me and said, "Jose, have you resolved your problems with marriage?" And I say, "No." And he said, "Go to Rome to study in an institute that specializes in marriage and family that I think whose name is John Paul II." And so I went there, and it's like an engineer you put to study literature. So how can you put together these subjects? No, but for me all was absolutely new. And studying there, I said, but these things are not for me that I am a priest, are for couples. And so I said, when I end these studies, I want to transmit to couples. And to transmit in a way, because it's not possible for couples to come to have a regular studies, no, because children, works, and all of these things. And so these years, I said, okay, I need to do something in summer for couples. and to make a vacation course. Okay, and so I called some couples from Spain to project the week. And so the project that we do was so easy. So what are the problems that in couple life are present? And now we do courses. Okay? And so what are the problems? So communication problems, communication issues, children, contraception, abortion, forgiveness, so all the problems. And courses to approach all of these courses. And we asked Professor Griegel, who was a former student of Karol Wojtyła, and in this moment was a professor in the John Paul II Institute, a wonderful man, incredible professor, and we had a lunch together. So the couple that came from Spain, Professor Griegel and me, and we showed him the program. And Professor Griegel, look at this, and said, there are hundreds of courses like this. Hundreds. If you want to do something for couples, don't talk about their problems, because you are touching the wonder. They are so aware about their problems. Why? And it's not possible for you to resolve their problems, because every couple is different. If you want to do something for them, help them to see the stars and to understand the beauty of their vocation. Because if they understand the beauty of their vocation, now they can approach, in a good way, their problems. Okay, what is the star? It's becoming one. What is the project of God? Becoming one, and we are going to try to understand deeper what's the meaning of this. This is the first topic. The second topic will be Christ's love in couple life, because you share an incredible thing. So becoming one, okay, you understand very well what is the meaning of this, but you become one with Christ also. And you share now something that belongs to Jesus Christ. It's not only that you are imitating Jesus Christ, his love. No. Excuse me, so boring. Excuse me. The main thing is that you receive something that belongs to him. And yet now you share this love of Jesus Christ, and you can love as he loves, with his love. And so we are going to try to understand what's the meaning of this. Christ's love in your love. Okay? And in this way, we will understand what is conjugal charity, this wonderful word. After, we're going to approach what's the meaning of conjugal union. This action, this incredible action, is the most complicated action in the universe. The most complicated action, the most rich action in the universe. Because it's all there. It's all there. Our bodies, our passions, our desires, our story, our memory, our imagination, our senses, of course, our will, our intelligence, and also the grace of God. And this action, we are going to see that this action is a celebration. Okay? And after, we are going to see the fruit of this action, fatherhood and motherhood. Okay? This is what we want to see this day. Things that belongs to the core of your life. And understanding better all of these topics, you will understand better the greatness of your vocation, the beauty of your vocation. Okay? So, becoming one is the star, is the how can I tell you, the telos, the fulfillment of your life, because you share Christ's love, because you are able to do this incredible action, and you will have a fruit. Well, but I want to put all of these topics in the present context. Because I see your faces. And I see your faces that sometimes, especially the last year and this year, you are a little afraid. Why afraid? Because you say, okay, Father, but who is talking about these topics today? What we see and what we listen is that today, in our society, of course, no one is interested in all of these things. For all of them, marriage, what is marriage? It's a time in life. It's not forever, it's a moment. It's a question about feelings. If feelings are there, wonderful. If not, goodbye. Children are also a question of feelings. If I feel myself so... Because you know, if today our Lord will tell us this incredible parable of the prodigal son, he will change this parable. Yes, yes, yes. Excuse me. Because our Lord will say, there was a son with a father and a mother. And one day, the father approaches his wife and his son after the meal. And he said to them, my dears, I don't feel myself so good at home. I don't find myself being your spouse and your dad. And I want to be myself. And I say to you, goodbye. Today are not the children who are leaving the family, but the parents. So, and what's a question? It's a question of feelings. I don't feel myself so happy with you and I leave you. Excuse me, so for our society is in this way. But what is happening? That what we see now, what we listen now, is that there are many priests, many bishops, many cardinals saying the same. And so what is the context, the situation in which we are now? An incredible confusion. It seems that the church has not the courage to see to our eyes and to remind us the stars of our lives in a way that I can fight. And so there is an incredible confusion today in the church. But not only an incredible confusion. So this summer, excuse me if I tell you, because I was so surprised, and perhaps you too, when we listen in the journals that that these poor people, Opus Dei people, wonderful people, I assure you, wonderful people, they have been What's the meaning of this in English? It's not upgrade, but downgrade. The poor people. Wonderful people. So they were a personal prelator before, and now they become an association of clerics. Clerics Association. So, before they had a bishop, all around the world, one bishop to reference them, and now there are a cleric association. And you know, once at home, in our community, talking about all of these things, there was a brother, Father Javier, and Father Javier said, you know, this is like Dunkirk. Have you watched the film? You remember? Dunkirk. It's a remake because the original film is at the end of the 50s. And Christopher Nolan did a remake in 2017, more or less. When I watched this movie, I said, oh, bah, it's a war movie. And Christopher Nolan now pay the tax for being a director and doing a war movie. But this day, talking with my brothers in the community, I said, but Father Javier, what are you saying? Yes, Dunkirk. Because there are not more big ships. Big ships. In this moment, you remember, so England sent big ships to evacuate these 300,000 soldiers that were in the beach in Dunkirk. 3 weeks. So England sent with France 300,000 soldiers to fight against Germany. In 3 weeks, Germany to the beach. And they are now in the beach. Okay? And they continue bombing and the airplanes. So it was a horrible situation. And the Royal Navy sent big ships to evacuate all of them. And the planes, the Luftwaffe, boom, and now this big ship destroyed. Another big ship destroyed. Another big ship destroyed. And so the Royal Navy said, what can we do to save these people? And they create the dynamo operation. And so they ask everyone who has a little boat, a recreational boat, a fish boat, to go to the fish, to go to the beach, and to put in the boat 13, 20 soldiers and come back. Well, it's a wonderful movie. And so we were so surprised in the conversation among us, and in one moment, another priest, Father James, said, you know, these small boats are families today. I was absolutely surprised. Why? Because Christopher Nolan, the director of this movie, wanted to communicate to Americans an important message that I apply to the church. And the message to Americans is this one. Don't wait for big ships. Don't wait for a wonderful president. Don't wait that America will do great things for you. America has now small boats. Take it. If we see the history of the last years, so incredible. What is happening with America? America is spreading this gender ideology all around the world. What is happening with America? That now they try to cancel your story, your history. But what is happening here? And Nolan is okay. They are destroying our institutions. But you continue having a small boat. Take it. Don't wait for a new situation. You can save in your small boat many people. This was the message, an important message that perhaps when we watched the movie we were not aware, but this inside, because this director, as you know, Christopher Nolan, is not a normal director. He had an incredible idea about things. But now we apply to the church. Don't wait for a wonderful pope. Don't wait for wonderful cardinals and wonderful bishops and wonderful pastors. Our Lord has constituted you as a boat. Go to the beach and save 10, 13, 20 people and bring them to the harbor. What is the problem? That if there is a big ship, and in the movie is so clear, there is a big ship there, and the problem is to arrive to the ship. And you remember all the difficulties that the soldiers had to arrive to the ship. And once, when they put the foot on the ship and the feet are there, I am safe. And they go to the boat and takes things that the nurses are giving them. Okay? Someone is leading me to home. I don't need to know how to sail because someone is leading me to home. The only question is to be there. Another is leading, another is the captain, another is telling me what to do. But if you are navigating with your boat, you are the captain. You need to know how to navigate, where to navigate. And this is the difficulty. Before, years ago, it was so clear. We had a wonderful Pope telling us things are okay. I am in this big ship. Wonderful bishops, wonderful pastors. But now we are in the confusion. And you need to take, what is the name of this in the boat? What is the name? When you have a boat and you have this to go there or there. The teller. And now you need to put the hands on the teller of your boat and to say where I want to go. Why? What for? And so you need to know how to navigate. But the most important question is that you need to choose to navigate and to take the tiller of your boat, the reins of your horse, and to understand why. Well, my point is that becoming one, the way of your wedding, this day, you as an individual, going there as an individual, you went away from the church as a boat. Our Lord this day has constituted you as a boat. All the woods now are assembled together in a way that now you are a boat. And the structure of this boat doesn't depend on you. Because it's God who has created this boat. What God has united. And the structure of your boat, it doesn't depend on you. As you know, for Catholic doctrine of marriage, freedom is necessary to become one, of course. But freedom, our decisions, our choices has any power about the structure of the boat, about the structure of marriage. It's not, oh, marriage is a wonderful thing. I choose this aspect, and this other, but not this other. No. In the moment in which you say, I choose this and not this other, you don't become one. Your freedom is, I can embrace all. And now you become one. But if now you decided what is the structure of your marriage, you don't become one. Okay? So our freedom is about yes or no, but not about the structure. Well, becoming one. How can we understand the meaning of this? Is there a handbook where I can find all the situation about my boat, my marriage? What is a marriage? How to sail? Is there a handbook? Can someone tell me about the structure of my boat? Excuse me, today is not possible to work in this way. Because there is an incredible confusion. And I will say, oh, I follow this priest because this priest is telling me things that are according to my heart, to my feelings. Oh, no, I follow this other because for me it's better. Can you imagine? And so, what is the question? That for John Paul II, every man, every woman can understand what is the structure of marriage, what is the structure of the boat, if this man, this woman interpret their love. Okay? So it's not a handbook there, and I can read. John Paul II is saying, interpret your experience. But interpret totally. not only one aspect. Live that the experience of love could talk to you, could reveal to you the meaning of your body, the meaning of love, the meaning of becoming one. And so John Paul II is not giving us a handbook where all is clear. John Paul II is helping us to interpret our affections. And in this way, we can understand that there is a truth of love. This word, so important, the truth of love. Because there is a false love also. Every one of us, we understand very well this. There is a true love and there is a false love. We understand very well with other affections, for example, fear. Fear, we understand fear. And sometimes we are so afraid about a little spider. No? Your children sometimes, Mom, Dad, what is happening? There's a spider in the bathroom. Oh, how big is it? Oh, it's like this. Show me. Where is it? Here. What's the problem? No? But how big is it? Like this. Oh, this is another thing. Wait a moment. I go to take my weapons. The first fear with the spider that is so little is a true fear or a false fear? Why false? Why? It's not dangerous. This spider is unable to do anything to me. And so I can talk with my son and say, okay, what is important is the dimension and the type of a spider. No? And now my son, okay, I understand. And next day when he will see another spider, he will do like this. Well, we understand that in our lives we have false fears and true fears. But it's difficult for us to understand that there are false love and true loves. Because what today we have received in our culture is, if there is love, is enough. Well, as you know, St. Paul said, faith will justify you. Okay? Do you agree? So thanks to believing in Jesus, now I receive the grace. I am justified by God. But you know, this was in the first century. After this 20th century, we have understood. And today, we don't say that faith justifies us. What we say is love justifies us. If you love, it's enough. And there is an incredible confusion today about love. It's enough love, but there are loves in our lives that bring us to hell, as we know very good. And so it's not enough love. It needs to be a true love. And so, true love. John Paul II says, you can understand if you interpret your love experience, because love is a light, is a revelation about what you are, who you are, and more important, who could you become? Who could you become? So John Paul II, to interpret the truth of love, said, there are human experience, original experience. He talked about this word, original experience. Original not only because are at the very beginning of the universe, of the creation of man and woman, but because are original in your life. Original because they are before your freedom, and they constitute your freedom. What has happened in Adam and Eve happens in your life also. And this original experience, you don't have any power on them. Any power. This original experience are talking to you about yourself. Let them to talk with you. And so, John Paul II said this original experience are present in Adam and Eve, but are present in every man and woman. And he said, now I want to talk with you about Adam and Eve, but talking about Adam and Eve, I am talking about you, about your experience. And so he interprets the book of Genesis in an incredible way. So wonderful. Because he said in chapter 2, Adam has been created as a man from the clay, and breathing his breath in this clay now, we have a man. But this man is alone in the world. And it's not good for him to be alone. And so, our Lord gave him this incredible work of giving names to all the creation, to all the animals. And in this way we understand that the first point of the image of God is the power that the man has to dominate creation. As God has the dominion of creation, man has the dominion of creation because he has the power of giving names. Giving names. As you know, in the Bible, sometimes God changes names because he has the dominion. And so the image of God, first of all, is because God has the dominion, me too, I am in his image. Well, and Adam working the whole day, arriving at the end of the day so tired. and wanting to sleep, the first sleep. Sleeping is in this moment in which we lose our conscience, we lose our freedom, we close the door. And so John Paul II says it's not worthy to live only for working. It's not a good thing. Living only for working. Working doesn't fulfill the heart of man in itself. Work in itself doesn't fulfill our life. And so, like Adam says, this first sleep, I don't want to live in this way. What a surprise. When in the morning our Lord awakes him and says, hello, Adam, I want to introduce you to someone. What are you telling me? And now in this moment in which Adam sees Eve first time naked in front of him, so, excuse me, what is happening here? This incredible moment. And now he said this, you are bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. The message is incredible. You know the Hebrew language is a so poor language with so few words. It's not like German language. German language, to tell about one thing, they have many words. Hebrew language, to tell about some things, they have only one word, and they apply to different things. And so you are bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh. So I understand myself in a new way thanks to you. You are from my bones. We have the same bones, the same flesh. And the message is, we have been created together. You belong to me. Sexual difference is talking about a relationship that constitutes our being. Our being is not in solitude, but it has been created in a relationship with the other. So, thanks to sexuality, we understand that we are vulnerable to the other. Vulnerability belongs to our being. We have not created as individuals, alone one from the other, but we have been created in a relationship. Well, this is the first incredible message. To understand ourselves, it's not possible to see ourselves in front of the mirror and saying, who am I? Every morning is a desperation to see ourselves in the mirror. Who am I? Oh, I change position because who am I? How can I understand this? For us, it's only possible to understand who am I if I put myself in front of the other, sexually different. And now I understand. John Paul II says, we have been created in an original communion. Well, but immediately, Adam said, for this, so the text said, for this the man will leave father and mother and become one with her. Become. And so now the text is talking about an incredible tension that is present in our life. What I am and what I can become. What I am, flesh of your flesh, bone of your bones. but I become one flesh with you. And so I have been creating an original communion, but now I understand that I can build a dynamic communion. And now my freedom is here. This new communion, this dynamic communion, is the fruit of my freedom and the freedom of the other. Well, becoming one. Becoming a we, us, excuse me, I don't know how to say in English, to becoming a we, because I and we, becoming a we, an us, how can I say? Well, I don't understand what is my good if I don't say our good. I don't understand what is my fulfillment if I don't say our fulfillment. I don't understand what is my happiness if I don't say our happiness. And so in this original experience, in this moment in which Adam is in front and Eve seeing so beautiful this woman, he understands his fulfillment because he understands our fulfillment. Becoming one with you. Being not only together one, together with the other, but being one for the other in a reciprocation. Becoming one is only possible through the mutual gift of themselves. C.S. Lewis says that friendship between a man and a woman comes not only when I am so happy with you, but when I am able to say, you too. Me too, what? Have you seen the same things as me? Have you seen what can we become together as me? And so, the original experience of love, if you see the origin of your life, the way in which you met the person that now is your spouse, this day was a revelation about your destiny, about the greatness of your destiny. You could become something greater than you are if you give yourself totally to this person and you receive totally her gift, his gift. You too. And now Adam and Eve, they understand that they can become something greater, becoming one. And becoming one, being able to generate, to communicate the greatness of what you are living to someone. And so, for John Paul II, the experience of love is revealing who you are and who can you become. Love, first of all, is a light.
It's a light.
A light about your destiny, the most important thing in our life is who can we become? Who can we become? And sexuality, sex, is talking about the greatness of our destiny. Well, what is happening? If we accept what this original experience of love is telling us, we understand many things in our lives. But when we embrace all the truth that the experience of love is telling me, who am I embracing also? I am embracing who has created love in this way. If I embrace the truth of love, I am embracing God. And for this reason, John Paul II says, marriage is the original sacrament. What's the meaning of this? Sacrament is where God is present, where the covenant of God is present. Sacrament is not only and not principally a sign about God, the actions of God. God is there. This is not the Catholic understanding of sacraments. Sacraments is a mystery where God is present. And so, the covenant with God for Adam and Eve was possible in their own covenant. The relationship with God was present in their own relationship. God was there in their relationship. And now we can understand why God has created man and woman. What he has put from the very beginning of our being, this erotic tension, in a way that we react immediately in front of sexual difference. This erotic tension is not ending in the other. This erotic tension is ending in God. God is drawing us to him thanks to the erotic tension, thanks to eros. And so God has created us, man and woman, to become one between us and with him. Sex is talking about God, and sex will be ever our ally.
Say that again, that was so good. Say that one more time.
Sex, I don't remember how can I say this.
Sex is talking about God.
Sex is talking about God, and sex is always our ally. Sex is rooted in the wisdom of God and in his love and will. Well, becoming one. And this happens the day of your marriage. This day, you enter as individuals and you go away as one, a communion of persons, as a boat. And this boat is able now to navigate and to receive more people. First of all, your children, your family, but also your friends. And this boat is able to go to Dunkirk beach and to save people. Don't wait. for wonderful times, a wonderful president, a wonderful pope, wonderful bishops, wonderful governors. Take the tiller of your boat and understand how to navigate